All right, let's get this party started. It's Coach Randy Byrd, and it is Wednesday. No, it's Monday. Monday morning mojo, noon, Monday. This last week has just been a blur. I mean, I worked this weekend painting the main office and doing some things. So it's like all day I've been thinking it was like Friday, Sunday, Tuesday. It just kind of blurs sometimes, but it's all good stuff going on. But I'm Coach Randy Byrd, and I'm bringing you the weekly coaching call every single week at high noon. We do a 30-minute powered coaching call. It could be questions that you have. It could be a dialogue that you need some help with in a coaching respect. And if not, I go about and I run down an agenda of things that are going to help you in your business. So if you're not muted, go ahead and mute yourself now. And I can take a look at the gallery and try to mute people as well as we go, if you've got any background noise or anything. But today I'm going to be talking about how to get more seller opportunities. You know, this is probably the most requested thing that I'm getting right now is how to get more seller opportunities in front of you, and in a tight inventory market, and in a market where a lot of people are sitting on their hands. There's some languages you can have, and it's really a numbers game. It's about getting in front of more people to get to a point to where you have this opportunity, right? So again, if you have any questions, anything you want me to answer as we progress through this, just put it in the chat. I'll make sure I get it. It's a pretty small group, so I can watch the chat. The last call we just got off had about 80 people, and I couldn't keep up with the chat. It was just too much. But this is a small group. I enjoy it. I look forward to it. So when we look at this opportunity right now, when you look at what is going on in the real estate market, you know, just a little update. I'll look at rates. I like looking at rates on a regular basis. Rates have been kind of, you know, having historic milestones, 20-year historic milestones. So 7.29 today. Last week it was 7.48 when I did my call. So a little bit of easing. I'm not going to see a major difference on the closing statements, but it's making the buyers feel a little bit better when they start coming down. There's also new language over the weekend from Mr. Powell about raising rates again. So, you know, he's still not got the economy in check, and they're having that conversation still and again. So these are things that are going to be in really the powerful part of your communication you're having with buyers and sellers right now, right? So what we want to do is create more opportunities for you. So I'm going to jump right into that. One of my favorite things, without exception, are having unsolicited CMA conversations. These are just the easiest conversations to have with people, because you're reaching out to somebody that didn't ask you to give them a value on their home, and they're all curious. I'm curious. I have a home. I haven't done an appraisal in a year. We did an appraisal last year, but I want to know if it's gone up or down. I don't really pay attention, right? And I'm in the space. I'm in the maybe, you know, as much in the space as you could be in the space. Redfin does a pretty good job of communicating with all your people about what their rates or what their house values are right now. So if you're not on Redfin, if you're not signed up for that, go sign up on it and get their reports on your particular house, and you'll get the reports from them every single month. It's shockingly good. You know, here we are. I'm not in a Redfin. This is a broker agnostic call, but the reality is those valuations are some of the best I've seen by Redfin. And Redfin's starting to have a lot of data that they're putting out in front of the public's eye. You need to at least know about it, right? So you can go in Redfin, you can put valuations in. I use Cloud CMA. Cloud CMA does a great job. In 5 minutes or less, you could do a CMA on a house and get really pretty good, accurate information, especially if there's enough sales in that area. But back to my unsolicited CMA. Many of you have heard me say this over time. I think this is the most powerful conversation you can have with somebody, because you're not attached to the outcome. The way I do it is I say that I've already done this report. I'm willing to throw it away or deliver it to you. I'm not attached to either way. When you get into a posture of a sales posture, or you're like, hey, I'd really love to come to I'm kind of teasing, like I'm bouncing on them or something, but I'm really excited to come over and I'll give you a free CMA. I'll visit your house. I'll do all this. You didn't ask me to come over. That really doesn't work very well, because they didn't ask for your information. They didn't ask for anything. So they're going to say no to that very often. And we did this little kind of trial in my coaching clients back years ago with Tom Ferry. And we had a very specific conversation that we tried. And it was that hey, I've already done a CMA in your neighborhood, in your geographical area that you're going to identify as your farm, geographic farm, not goats and chickens and livestock, right? But geographic farm, an area of properties that you're going to wrap your arms around, 500 homes, 1,000 homes, a neighborhood, a subdivision, whatever it is. And you go into it and you can get the numbers from title. You could search for them through a whole bunch of different ways to get a database of that particular farm. So very first thing, identify the farm you want to do, minimum of 500 homes, right? If you live in a little nice community, it's got 180 homes in it, like I did in Reading, it's not big enough. You need at least 500 homes for a farm to work correctly, right? So once you've identified this area, you're going to get that data to put into your database, however you need to get it. A lot of different resources to do this, but kind of the step one of this is identifying it. Step two is getting the data from that farm, because it's really hard to have any kind of communication without it. There's Vulcan 7, there's Mojo Dialer, there's ID Identify, there's all kinds of free systems and things where you can find people's phone number and email. And then the paid versions are way better. Some of them are very inexpensive, 20 bucks a month. You can get Ben Verified, for instance. There's just, I could think of probably 6 or 7 different ones. Whichever one fits your needs, whichever one's the least expensive, but you're looking for this data. Title can get it for you, right? There's some things Title can do, and then get you the lists, and then you can also put these numbers into other systems to kind of, we have one right now. We have a incoming lead source, and we're doing really good, but we're missing about 30% of the people are registering without their name and address, and our Zapier can't find it. Like the system we're using is just, it's not finding about 28 to 32% of them. So we got another outside source through a title company where we regurgitate those leads back into that system, only the ones we can't identify, and we're getting another 25 or 30%. So we're increasing the amount of things that we can get that information on. So now let's assume that you've created this database. You've created this farm, you've created the database, you've got at least 80% of that database in there. And then now it's time to reach out to them. The best thing to do is just a simple phone call. You can also door knock. You can, you can go door to door saying that you have a value proposition for them. But I like numbers. And so I can get through a lot of phone numbers in a day as opposed to trying to door knock. But I think door knocking is great for the balance of this conversation, for you to get into a posture where you're really, really becoming the agent of choice in that subdivision. But for now, we're going to make a phone call, right? And who would like to do a role play with me? And you could be the seller that didn't want to talk to me, doesn't really know why I'm calling. You want to do it, Russell?
Sure.
I thought Tracy was going to get her hand up. I saw her.
Sure, whatever you want. I'm easy.
Was thinking about it.
All right, I'll come back to you. So Russell, you're at home, you're in your kitchen doing whatever you're doing, and I'm calling you kind of cold, right? So ring. Hey,
you want to be ornery, or you want to just be normal?
What's that?
You want to be ornery or normal?
You can do anything you want. We could even do it a couple different ways, and you'll see how I react differently. Okay. So ring. Hey, Russell.
Yeah, this is Russell. How can I help you?
Russell, this is realtor Randy Byrd. I'm a real estate broker here locally with EXP. And you didn't ask me to call, but I actually was doing some work in your neighborhood, and I have a CMA, or a comparative market analysis, I did on your home as part of a broader scope one. And I was just curious. I've already done the work. Do you want me to send you a copy of it, or do you want me to just throw it in the trash?
No, you can send me a copy. What's my house worth, do you think?
Okay, I can go over that with you. Do you want to do that now?
How long is it going to take?
Probably 5 minutes. Actually, is it okay if I give you a call back in 5 minutes and I'll wrap up what I'm doing? We could talk about it.
You don't want to do it now? You say you have it now.
I do have it now, but I don't have any time right now. I have somebody else just walked into my office. I'll be done in 5 or 10 minutes.
Sure. Yeah. Send it to me. You can call me back.
Okay, cool. So what's the best email to shoot it over to you? And then I can give you 10 minutes to look at it and I'll answer any questions.
Yeah, perfect. It's my first name dot my last name. I think you have that there.
Okay, perfect. So pause, right? So that transitioned right into, he wanted something, right? And I think the key to this is, and again, I want you to lead with integrity. So if you feel like, well, I don't want to tell him I've already done some, if I haven't, then do it. You could do it for the whole neighborhood, by the way, not per house, and have the same integrity in the conversation. Because don't you have to use their house to get that CMA put together anyway? Yes, you do. It's going to look for all sales, all active, all withdrawn, everything. So that's effectively using every house in that neighborhood. Theirs might be on the list or not. Right? So the whole goal is to get them to a warmer conversation. Because if I call and say, hey, Russell, it's Randy Byrd, and I'm slick salesman over here at ABC Realty. And listen, I'd like to come out and do a free CMA, comparative market analysis on your house, and tell you what it's worth, tell you what you can get out of it. What's a good day I can come by and walk through your house for a few minutes, take a couple pictures, and I'll get that over to you. Right? They're going to be uninterested. They're going to be absolutely not. You just triggered about 3 or 4 different things for them. Stranger in their house. They didn't ask for it. They don't care. Where if I called and said, and like, for instance, Tracy, you could be as mean as you want to, or you could never want to sell your house in your whole life. It doesn't matter. I could still get you to wanting some of this data because it's valuable for you, right? So you want to do that with me real quick, Tracy?
You want me to be mean?
You don't be
I
mean
just
on
got done doing
purpose.
hood to coast, so
It's Monday.
not firing all cylinders.
Here's what I'd
Let's
like you to
this.
do. Put yourself in a place that you really think the sellers would be in a posture when they get a cold call like that. Okay. So ring, ring. Hey, is this Tracy Anderson?
This is Tracy.
Tracy, it's Randy Byrd with eXp Realty. You don't know me, and I'm calling kind of unsolicited, and I apologize. But we did a report on the values of the homes in your neighborhood, and your home is one of the ones that I included in that report. I was just curious, do you want a copy of it before I throw it away, or you want me just to toss it?
No, I mean, I can just always look at Zillow and they tell me what my home's worth. So
Yeah. Have you done
easy
that
breezy.
lately?
It's right in my hand.
Have you done that lately?
Yeah, I do it pretty constantly.
And it looked accurate to you?
I mean, I think so. I like to think, I've got some equity in the house and definitely some sweat equity.
No, you definitely do, but I looked at Zillow and it's not right.
How so?
Well, do you want me to show you, or are you?
How do you know what I did to my house for the sweat equity?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Zillow doesn't either.
Good point.
So it sounds like you probably aren't in the need for a value on your house. Is that accurate?
Not right now. I don't
Yeah,
have
you're
any
not
plans
wanting
to
to
sell
sell right
anytime
now.
soon. We love our house.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. If you got a make me move number, which is a number that's so ridiculous that it shouldn't be right, but somebody's willing to pay for it, what is your make me move number? Like, forget about everything. You literally get your stuff out of the house and go on to the next thing.
700.
Okay. And so if we were able to get you 700, you feel comfortable that that's a make me move now number?
Depends on what now is considered, but yeah.
Yeah, if it's all cash, it might be now. Right. So
But then I got to
again,
think of where we're going to go, Randy.
yeah, no, that's step 2 of that, right? Because there's several things we could put into place to give you protections. And that is something down the road that we definitely need to consider. But taking those off the plate for right now, and you weren't interested in selling, I told you I called you kind of unsolicited, but if you could get that number, you think that you would be willing to move?
Maybe.
So let me do so. I don't want to waste your time nor mine. So I'll tell you what, can I give you a call back tomorrow and let me do a little digging, and I'll tell you if it's even a remote possibility. And as a courtesy, I'll give you what your actual value is now without me looking at the house, without me looking at all your sweat equity, but based off mathematics of what's sold and what's going on in your neighborhood. Is that okay?
Sure.
Appreciate it. I just want to earn your long-term business, not your short-term business. Okay. All right. So I'd set an appointment for tomorrow. Now I'll do a little homework. Right now, I'll go a little deeper with the CMA. I'll go a little deeper into what the prices are, what's going on in that neighborhood. And I can do all that in a few minutes as well. Right. And then, by the way, I'm going to know what Zillow is. I haven't even looked, but I can tell you almost, 98% of them are inaccurate. There's some accuracy that's coming in with Zillow. Redfin's getting pretty accurate. But like if you look at just any house and you go Zillow and then you go Redfin, they're totally different values. So what's the algorithm? There is no perfect algorithm for everybody, right? So back to, you see how the conversation is easier to get in than trying to do a cold call. And if you're door knocking, then it's hard to say, I've already done this work for you. You're back to the cold. Do you mind if I do this work for you? You didn't ask for it, right? But door knocking later after this conversation could have a lot of value, especially if you start weaving in a Facebook group with the neighborhood, a free coat drive this winter, open house, grand open house thing or something. If you get a listing in there and you start promoting that listing with other phone calls, then the door knock could be a completely different value. Makes sense for everybody? What questions do you have about this so far? It sounds easy. It's not. Right? It sounds easy, but it's not. And the real power in this is the consistency through taking that 500 homes and just becoming the mayor of that area. Meaning that Facebook friend request everybody in there by doing a cross-reference, searching for them and taking the time to do it. Tracy mentioned it. She did a bunch of sweat equity. What's cool about this automation campaign is you could do all this for 100% free. You could identify the neighborhood for free. You can get the title and have the reports done for free. You could put them into your KV Core or another CRM that you have already for free. You could then do the sweat equity to find them, every single one of them on Facebook, or leverage it out to your 11 and 13-year-olds to do it, right? They're probably better at it than we are. And you could find anybody you want to through social media now, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, KV Core that we use automatically does it for you. It will search all their social profiles and just auto-populate them. So then it's cross-referencing their phone number and their email. And if it gets those two things, it can find them high majority of the time. Does this make sense for you? So now you're doing all this for free, right? So no matter what level of business you have now, if you're doing 6 deals a year, 13 deals a year, 30 deals a year, this is a way that you could easily increase your listing inventory by focusing on this. And then again, when you get that one listing in that subdivision finally, or that in that farm, go all out on it. Make sure that you have lots of signage. Make sure you're sending a flyer to each one of those homeowners. Make sure that's getting on the Facebook page that you've named Blackberry Estates, and make it members only, right? You're making this kind of exclusive area of a Facebook group that's in this area. Then you can interview the school superintendent, interview the police chief, interview the guy that does the HOA, whatever it may be. And I'm telling you, I've had agents just absolutely crush their farms this way. And so much so that I have a Tom Ferry client, when we started at a very small, he was doing, I think, 18 transactions a year. Now he's 80 to 100 a year. And it's been really off this farming strategy where he's now so dominant in those farms that he had no place being in 3-4 years ago. He's so dominant, the other agents refer to him instead of losing the listing to him. So they'll get somebody who says, hey, I want to list my house in there. Hey, you know what? You should use Todd. Todd's a great guy. He sells 50 houses a year in this farm. And then they do a referral fee of 25, 30% with him. So they don't lose the listing to him. Smart. That's powerful though. When you could take over a farm and have the top 2 agents in there, then refer you business because they're losing everything to you. That's domination. Right? So questions about farms, question about this strategy.
I have a question, Randy.
Yes. Patrick.
I've started playing with, using RedX to do geo dialing for just solds and pendings and other stuff. I haven't used the CMA approach, but I was curious your thoughts on for farming, whether or not leaving a voicemail or dropping a voicemail makes sense, or if you just keep dialing and don't worry about it and come back the next time.
So I have something I've done for years, and it's just how I operate. I don't leave a voicemail until the 3rd call. Okay. So I'll just go through my dialers. Say I queue up 50 dials. I'll just go through until somebody answers the phone and talks. And when we get back to 0, I'll start over again. I'll go all the way through it again. Okay. And then if I make it to the 3rd time, I'll leave voicemails, and I'll do an auto voicemail that I record that day. Hey, listen, it's Randy Byrd. It's Monday. It's about 12:30 p.m. I called you a couple of times. I'm sorry I missed you. I don't want to be rude, not leave a message. So I want to leave a message. I've already prepared a CMA for you. You didn't ask for it, but I've already done it. And I just want to know if you wanted a copy of it or if you just want me to toss it. If I don't hear from you, I'll toss it, but I'll give you a day or 2 to get back to me. You can reach me here at 541-570-5777, or you can email me at teambyrd@gmail.com and I'll get that report over to you. Okay. All right. So that's the last voicemail.
And then you use the same phone number on all 3 dials. You don't switch it through to a different phone number.
You can, but if it's better to have the same phone number 3 times. Okay. Because my philosophy is they see it come up once, they're curious. They see it come up again. Now they're like, and sometimes they're borderline perturbed by the 3rd time I call. Yeah. And so be mad at me when I call you again. Just go, dude, you've called me 3 times today. Hey, ring ring, and you finally answer.
Who
Hey,
is this? Why are
Patrick?
you calling me? Who is this? Why don't you leave a voicemail?
Oh, dude, I'm really sorry about it. I think it's my big fat fingers, Patrick. But the first time I actually accidentally hung up on you, and the second time I wasn't sure if I had the right number. But I'm glad I finally reached you. Do you have just 2 quick minutes? I apologize in advance.
Sure.
So I'm sorry I called you twice before and didn't leave a message. I was going to leave a message this time, but I've already, the good thing is it's a contribution call. I've got something for you that I've already done, and I was just trying to get it to you before I threw it away. So I'm kind of glad I got you. Do you want a copy of this? A CMA, comparative market analysis with kind of current values. I did your home because it's part of a bigger, broader CMA that I did for some other homes in your neighborhood there at Edgewood.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. What's the best email? I'll send it over to you.
PatrickHake@gmail.com.
Okay, perfect. And Patrick, I want to leave you alone, but I'll follow up tomorrow. Just number one, make sure you got it and answer any questions about it. And it's yours to keep. No, no obligation.
Okay. Sorry for going off on you when I picked up.
Don't worry about it, man. It's my fault. I should have left a message. Is this the best number to reach you?
Yeah, this is great.
Perfect. I appreciate it, Patrick. Have a good day.
Thanks, Randy.
And honestly, they go just like that. They really do. You're going to get somebody that's just a bag of sour grapes once in a while, but it's more rare than it's not.
Well, I assume if it's your farm, they probably even know your name a little bit if you've been doing it for a while.
If it's been a while, yes, and especially when you can get stuff like an open house in that area, and then you start calling them about the open house. Mm-hmm. And I've had people, they get so weird about calling about open houses. I just feel weird, and I'm like, I love it. I call them and I go like this. I go, ring ring. Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick's Randy Byrd over here at EXP. You remember me, right? We've been all over your neighborhood.
Yeah. Hey, Randy, how's it going?
Going great. Listen, I wanted to give you a heads up. We're having an open house around the corner this weekend. And lately the open houses have been freaking crazy. Yeah. So if people are parking in your driveway or they're blocking your driveway or anything like that, I want you to know that it's me. Call me. I'll make sure it's fixed. And we've just had a massive response to our open houses, probably from our marketing and stuff. But I wanted you to know about it. It opens at noon. Why don't you come by at maybe 11? I'm going to have some of the neighbors come early just to check it out, know what's in the neighborhood. And heck, you could pick your neighbor instead of me. Yeah,
my nephew's looking to buy a house. I'll bring him by.
Perfect. I'll let you guys come in about an hour early, say 11 o'clock. I'll be there. And I'd love to have you. So you want me to put you down for an RSVP?
Yeah, I'll be by.
Okay, you got it. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Randy. So again, good hearing from you again.
You see how it's like I'm unattached. I'm more letting them know. And by the way, you're doing two things by saying that somebody might park in front of their house or it blocked their driveway. It's saying it's that big of a deal. And then you don't put 3 signs out, you put 25 signs out. You make it a big deal, right? So you're getting multiple effects through this. Pretty cool. Good question, though. Anybody else have any questions about that?
Not about that, but Patrick, I'm wondering how you're liking Red X. I've been looking at it.
Yeah, I started for expireds, but unfortunately there's like 3 in our area. There's not very many expireds. So I quickly realized it's not gonna be that valuable for us right now because nothing's expiring. But I've been leaning on the GeoFarm stuff lately, and it works good. I actually like using the dialer more than anything else. I will import my leads from my website. I'm sure you could do it from KV Core
and your CRM and everything else.
So I can throw like, 150 leads in there and throw the triple dialer on it and get through that in 30 minutes. Whereas if I was thumb dialing it, it would take me forever. And some of these are people I haven't reached after like 15 calls. And it just becomes a waste of time to keep doing it like manually. But if I can do it in 20 minutes, I'll have people pick up on the 15th time and have as good of a conversation as if it was the first day they signed up. And so for me, it's valuable.
That's a good idea. And, there's a lot of systems, Vulcan, Red X, Boomtown, or not Boomtown, but Mojo Dialer. There's just a lot of systems. And then now a lot of the CRMs like KV Core and Chime, they dial for you. Even, some of the other CRMs have some kind of dialer, but I really love the ones that are specifically for dialers, right? Like a 3-line triple dialer. I know a guy that bought a 10-line 10-line dialer, and he shut it off like in 3 days. He goes, that was ridiculous. He goes, I just didn't even know who was who. And so getting a 3-line dialer by itself is a big deal. I mean, you
have to move fast for sure.
You have to move
fast. How do they
hang
even
up
work
on them as other ones are picking up, and it's like But when you're dialing these people that are, nobody picks up anymore. So if you do single, you get a lot of dead air. And so if you get triple, you might miss somebody and have to come back, but at least you're using your time better.
And like the voicemail I left on mine was if I dial them and then they don't answer and I go to the next one, they get that voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Hey Patrick, sorry, I was trying to reach you, but my other line dialed, so I jumped on it. Sorry, I had to leave you a quick message, but I got to get this other line. Call me back." Right.
Yeah,
so
my non-pickup message goes,
oh yeah.
And I call back, like, "Hey, we lost reception. I'm sorry I missed you."
That's right. Right. So back to adding people to your farm this way, right? Who sees this as an opportunity to add more people into especially their seller conversations really easily, right? And by the way, this works great for sell by owners too, because if you're doing a farm correctly and you're really dominating that, you could leverage that into for sell by owner conversations easily, right? And so, but for me, I'm all about that. I want to have a conversation with the seller. I want to put them in my funnel appropriately. I've had people literally say, "I'm never moving. Take me off your list. They're going to carry me out of Pine Box." I don't know why that's so popular, but it's been said to me at least 5 or 6 times in my career, 20 years. And I said, no problem. You stay there forever. That's awesome. But who's the real estate agent that's going to handle your assets and all your stuff when you do pass? Because you still need somebody to help you with those things. Do you have a great agent that you would use? Well, no, I don't need one. Okay, I'd love to be that great agent. I'd love to interview for that position. By the way, I could help family members, and we have opportunities in all 50 states now. I have a lead site that's all 50 states. I pull out hundreds of thousands of listings right now. So some of those things they just don't know and aren't aware of it that you could educate them on and bring them into your CRMs. Cool. All right. Any last questions, anything before we kind of wrap up for the day? I appreciate you all being here. Nothing?
I like how you did your coach Randy Byrd and titles and all of that. How did you do that?
Yeah, that's in Warmly. So if you go to Google Warmly, it's a free add-on you could put into your Zooms. It's pretty cool, very editable. As a matter of fact, now you can even put like basically like V cards where they click a link and they get all your contact information, all that kind of stuff. It's really pretty cool.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I just have to be a little hipper than my kids. So that's the whole thing. I'm trying to stay one step in front of my children because they think I'm really techie. I'm not. Well, thanks for being here. So, as we leave, this is a coaching call. I'm going to really encourage you to put something like this into your system. Real estate is this 5-pillared lead generation machine, right? You don't want to focus on just one pillar being sphere of influence or past clients. And the number one thing I do in my coaching needs analysis is when I get to where's all your business come from, guess what? It's always like 90% past clients. And that's beautiful, but there's a ceiling to that. There's a ceiling to that. I'm saying break through the ceiling, add a new level of clients that you never had before. And you have to do that through prospecting, period, end of story. Right? I'll argue and arm wrestle with anybody about this topic. It doesn't matter. I have an agent that was doing 88, 90 deals a year, and she was amazing. And everything was great until she asked me how to do more deals. I said, you're doing one thing amazing. Don't break it because your past clients are amazing. She's getting 5, 6, 7 referrals a month from past clients. That's awesome, but you can't scale that without just beating them up more and more and more. Right? So we have to be in that platform. Awesome. September 6th, we're starting something new. It left before I said it.
It's okay. Randy, it's my group. We're doing something September 6th.
Oh, very cool.
It's a 4-week thing. We took Krista Mayshore.
Oh, yeah.
And Phil Stringer, and we actually did all the work, and we're sharing it with our team, which should be fun.
I love it, dude. That's awesome. And we're not here next Monday. It's a holiday, so you guys enjoy. Hopefully you're taking a 3 or 4 day weekend and getting out and doing something fun.
I'm calling CMA people.
I love it. Nice, Patrick. That a boy.
Thank you,
All
Randy.
right, you guys have a great day. I appreciate you. Have a good afternoon. See you, everybody. Thanks.